Hello, friends. Welcome to the appreciation of North Indian music with Shekhar Phatak. Last week, we concluded the session on time theory of North Indian music. Today, we'll begin a new one. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in just a few moments. Welcome back, friends. A few weeks back, when I was describing what a rag is, I talked about the characteristics that make up a rag. In general, there are supposed to be about 40 plus different characteristics that make up a rag. Well, to cover all that would take a few years, and we don't want to go too much into detail because we are not learning to sing here, or we are not learning to play an instrument here. So learning just a little bit about rag will help you appreciate music even more. So instead of going a few years of learning phase, let's try to finish this in a couple of years at the most. Today, my friends, we'll start on a new topic in continuation of the appreciation of North Indian music. This new characteristic is called Jati. Jati means birth community, or the community in which the rag takes birth. The musical Jati has nothing to do with Varna or race. It clearly defines the birth or origin of rag from a thought. As you should already know, and if you don't, you should already know, and if you don't, please go back, start from episode 1 and listen to all of them again. No, I'm just kidding. You don't. I'm just going to tell you what it is. So what you should know is that thought is a framework. It consists of 7 notes or 8 notes if you take higher sa also. A rag is always derived from a thought. So from the set of 7 notes, a rag is derived, and the rule is that you can only use those notes that are defined for a particular rag. If you use anything else, then the rag name changes. So one of those conditions is that a rag must have minimum of 5 notes. Minimum 5 notes. That's a must. Anything less than that, it's not a rag. I have heard of a rag that uses only 4 notes, but according to definition, it would not be considered a rag. So based on the number of notes used, a rag can be classified again into several categories. This is what is known as Jati of a rag. In North Indian music, Jati indicates the melodic pattern or the number of notes in the ascending order, Aroha, or descending order, Avroha. Based on number of notes, there are 3 main Jatis. Audav, that uses 5 notes. You can also call it pentatonic. Penta means 5, tone means swar. Pentatonic or Audav Jati. Second one is Shadav with 6 notes, hexatonic. And third Jati is known as Sampurna. Sampurna means complete, which is a septatonic with all 7 notes. Mixing these 3 Jatis, if you are a math student, you may have already guessed permutation, combination. Who's that? I'm sorry, I had to run off just to see what that lady was doing outside my window. And there are people who love animals in this country, and she seems to be a real animal lover. Our house is very close to a lake, and she saw a little turtle, and she wanted to save him because he was going on the street. Any car could have killed him. What a lady. Thank you. Coming back to where were we? Well, here we go. So I was talking about mathematician in this group of listeners who may have already come up with total number of different jatis by combining these three jatis that we talked about. So yes, there are total 9 jatis that you can form. One is Audav-Audav, which means it uses 5 notes in Aro, ascending scale, and 5 notes in Avro, descending scale. Audav-Shadow, 5 notes in Aro and 6 notes in Avro. Audav-Sampurna, 5 notes in Aro and 7 notes in Avro. Shadow-Audav, 6 notes in Aro, 5 notes in Avro. Shadow, 6 notes in Aro, 6 notes in Avro. I should do that actually. Next, Shadow-Sampurna, 6 notes in Aro, 7 notes in Avro. Now start with Sampurna-Audav, which has 7 notes in Aro and 5 notes in Avro. Sampurna-Shadow, which has 7 notes in Aro, 6 notes in Avro. Sampurna, which has 7 notes in Aro and 7 notes in Avro. So friends, we'll take one jati at a time, one jati a week, and study them just a little bit. But we are learning to appreciate music, so we'll find music for you that you can listen to in each of these jati. We'll start with Audav-Audav. 5 notes in Aro and 5 notes in Avro. Some of you may have heard Chinese music, and some of you may already know that it mainly uses 5 notes in a scale. So some of the pentatonic scales or rag may sound like Chinese to you. Bhopali, Durga, these are the rag that if you listen to it in a certain way, especially played on a santoor, it sounds like Chinese music. Well, let's understand the pentatonic scale just a little bit in detail. Here is the worldview, not just North Indian. So this type of scale, pentatonic scale, has been used by various cultures for ages. Western classical music, however, rejected this scale for a while because they did not believe in minimization or limited possibilities to express their ideas. The first use that I know of was found in one of the piano concerto that Chopin wrote in late 1800s. India has been using pentatonic scales forever. I don't know how long, but forever is a good number. Here is the comparison of 2 great traditions, 2 great musical traditions, Indian music and Western music. So major pentatonic is made up of, in Western scale first, C, D, E, G, A, and higher C. Or F, G, A, C, D, F. Or third one would be G, A, B, D, E, G. Make it simple. To make it simple, it's Sa, Re, Ga, Pa, Dha, and higher Sa, by basically omitting 4th and 7th. That makes Rag Bhupali. This is called major pentatonic. Next is minor pentatonic, which has C, E flat, F, G, B flat, and C. In North Indian music, it is Sa, Komal Ga, Ma, Pa, Komal Ni, and Sa, which is equivalent to Rag Dhani. Next is called suspended, or also called Egyptian scale. C, D, F, G, B flat, C. Sa, Re, Ma, Pa, Komal, Ni, Sa, which makes Rag Megh. Interesting, isn't it? To some of you, of course. Next scale in Western music is called blues minor. It is made up of C, E flat, F, A flat, B flat, and C. In North Indian music, it is Sa, Komal Ka, Ma, Komal Tha, Komal Ni, and higher Sa. Some of you may know what rag that is. Rag Malkaus. And last is called Japanese scale, which is C, D flat, F, G, A flat, C. In North Indian music, Sa, Komal Re, Ma, Pa, Komal Dha, and higher Sa, which is equivalent to Rag Bibhas. So that's how many pentatonic scales exist in Western music. But as per Indian thought system, you can generate hundreds of pentatonic scale by omitting 2 notes from each thought. Here are a few names other than mentioned above. Deshkar, Jait Kalyan, Shivranjani, one of the most popular rag, Bhupal Todi, Hansadhwani, Hindol, Madhmad Sarang, and Abhogi. When we talk about different rag, which will probably happen next year, we will talk in detail about some of these. Okay? So that will make you understand and enjoy these rag even more. But knowing the names of some of the rag is a good start, isn't it? When you started, probably you hardly knew any names of the rag. I have bombarded throughout this series with the different names of rag, and some of the rag I have continuously repeated. So I'm sure you know some of those names. You'll know more. Even if you know 30, 40, that's more than enough. As a demonstration song for you today, I have a Surdas bhajan. I don't even remember when I composed this. This was a long time ago, and I have been singing this bhajan forever. So this particular recording, I have Nitish Kulkarni again on tabla with me. Tum meri rakho laaj hari. By the way, all these recordings that you have heard so far are also available on most of the streaming services like iTunes, Spotify, JioSaavn, Hangama, CD Baby, and many more. Enjoy this bhajan that is based on a pentatonic scale known as Raga Bairagi. Aroh and Avroh of Bairagi, for your information, are Sa, Komal Re, Ma, Pa, Komal Ni, and Sa. Avroh is the same way. Sa, Komal Ni, Pa, Ma, Komal Re, Sa. The Tal cycle is that of 7 beats like Rupak. But I have used a similar Tal which is more ancient or old. It was mainly played on Pakhwaj. It is known as Tevra. It goes like this. Dha, din, ta, titakata gadi gana dha din ta, titakata gadi gana. After this bhajan, be ready. I'll be back with a song, a day list for you. So just stay tuned. See you in a few minutes.
राखो लाज हरी, तुम मेरी राखो लाज हरी। तुम जानत सब अंतर्यामी, तुम जानत सब अंतर्यामी। करनी कछु न करे, करनी कछु न करे। तुम मेरी राखो लाज हरी, तुम मेरी राखो लाज हरी। अवगुण मोह से बिसरत नाही, अवगुण मोह से बिसरत नाही। पल छिन धरी धरी, पल छिन धरी धरी। सब प्रपंच के पोट बांध कर, सब प्रपंच के पोट बांध कर। अपने शेष धरे, तुम मेरी राखो लाज हरी, तुम मेरे राखो लाज हरी। दारा सुत धन मोह लिए हो, दारा सुत धन मोह लिए हो। सुधि बुद्धि सब बिसरे, सुधि बुद्धि सब बिसरे। सूर पातित को बेगी उधारो, सूर पतित को बेगी उधारो। अब मोरी नाव भरे, तुम मेरी राखो लाज हरी, तुम मेरी राखो लाज हरी। तुम जानत सब अंतर्यामी, तुम जानत सब अंतर्यामी। करनी कछु न करे, करनी कछु न करे। तुम मेरी राखो लाज हरी, तुम मेरे राखो लाज हरी। तुम मेरे राखो, तुम मेरी राखो, तुम मेरी राखो लाज हरी, लाज हरी, लाज हरी।
Welcome back, my friends. I hope you enjoyed that bhajan that was in Rag Bairagi. So now let's continue with Rag Bairagi and let's listen to Ustad Ali Akbar Khan on Sarod, Rag Bairagi. Next, let's move on to one of the most popular rag of Hindi film industry, Rag Shivranjani. I know of at least 100 songs that are based on this rag, but I have listed an unusual number for you today. For those who think that the new songs cannot be based on rag, here is the one. A song that was made popular in late 90s or maybe early 2000s by Madhuri Dixit and Anil Kapoor. Dhak Dhak Karne Laga, Jiyara Jalne Laga. Anyone who thinks that this song does not belong to any rag is wrong. They need to come here. Yes, they need to come to this channel and learn to appreciate North Indian music. The rag system is so open. Yes, it is complicated, but simple, just the way we are trying to make it simple, right? So it's very, very open. The framework of it is so open that any tune that you can hum or any music anybody composes can belong to a rag. You just need enough knowledge to recognize what rag this composition belongs to and then classify it into it. Simple. Anyways, listen to this heart number. Dhak Dhak Karne Laga, Jiyara Jalne Laga. And then compare this song with classical performance of Rag Shivranjani by Maestro, Ustad Bismillah Khan on Shahnai. Next, let's move on to a South Indian rag that has become very, very popular in North. It's known as Hansadhwani or Hamsadhwani or Hausadhwani. Another popular song by the same composers, Anand, Milind, Sathiya Tune Kya Kiya. This is a brilliant performance by both S.P. Bala and Chitra. And now, time for classical rendition of Rag Hausadhwani. Begum Parveen Sultana brings life to this rag with a long alap followed by a tarana. Friends, we'll continue with our discussion on Jati for next few weeks. I'm sure there are many who wait every week for the new episode, and those are the listeners who I'm sure have started appreciating North Indian music in a very, very different way. Idea is to have more and more good listeners. Some of my musician friends feel that something is missing after each concert, and the common problem is that something that is missing is an educated listener. More than music, everyone wants to hear a story, some story. Either it's a story of a film with which the music is interwoven, or story of where the singer or the artist comes from. Has he gone through difficulties? Has he lived in a poor environment? That is more interesting, tearjerker still. Well, we need to focus more on music, the kind of music each musician produces. It does not matter from how much difficulty a musician has come from. Each musician has his own or her own struggle. The struggle to stay in note, struggle to be in sur, struggle to keep rhythm, struggle to come up with a new tune. Each and everyone has a different struggle. So let's not focus on that story. let's focus on what is real. Music is real. The music that comes out is more real. So instead of a story, let's talk about good music. Let's spread good music. We will continue to give you good music as long as there is good audience to receive it. So please spread the word about this series. As you have seen and experienced by now, I embed my music in the episode itself, but try to introduce you to other musicians and singers that either are very popular already or nobody even knows about them. So, listening to good singers, good musicians is what we want to promote. So, these famous or non-famous musicians, they are all dedicated and they want to deliver wonderful music, and they need you. They need good listeners like you. So my request is, let's be together in this, unite the souls of musicians with the audience, and this is probably my way to contribute. Do something in the field of music. Give something. I have received a lot. I'm thankful to God. I want to give something. And that's why this series is being produced. So please spread the word and keep coming back here for more. Thank you again, my friends. Thank you always. Thank you for coming back and listening to me. And I'll see you next week. Thank you.